Hello, I am Dr. Alexandre Amato, a vascular surgeon at the Amato Institute, and today I will talk about sleep hygiene. And you might be wondering why I am discussing this topic. Because sleep is essential for quality of life, for your health. The lack of sleep or erratic sleep, a poorly slept night, that night when you wake up the next day and it wasn't restorative, it causes oxidative stress. It will trigger diseases like obesity and can worsen all diseases related to, for example, anxiety. And you won't enjoy the day. So, sleep hygiene is necessary. Many times people say, oh, I can't sleep. But there's no organic problem. There's no disease causing this difficulty in sleeping. What there really is are several factors influencing your nighttime habits, and you're not able to sleep. So, should we use medicine and solve it? It appears to be a straightforward remedy, and frequently medication becomes necessary. But without adjusting your habits, in relation to it, the effectiveness diminishes, leading to reliance on the medication. Therefore, maintaining good sleep hygiene is essential for achieving quality sleep, promoting overall health, and facilitating a rejuvenating rest, which in turn impacts the functioning of our immune system and body in a transformative manner during this sleep phase to repair all the damage caused throughout the day. So we need this. Despite that, there are stories of people who don't sleep for a long time. So the record was of an American who went 11 days without sleeping. He was monitored by a scientific team and was observed. He felt very bad after those 11 days despite that. There's also the story of a 75-year-old Vietnamese farmer who claims he hasn't slept in 42 years. The issue is that he hasn't been willing to go to a hospital with the technology to properly evaluate this claim. It may seem like he doesn't sleep. He tells this story, has done several interviews, but there are scientific reasons to explain how this happens. One of the possibilities could be that he sleeps in small periods during the day with his eyes open and his body doing what it really needs at that moment to restore the damage caused. So, without a more in-depth investigation, we can't say that someone has gone 42 years without sleeping. So what we have monitored is 11 days and 11 days of suffering. I don't recommend this to anyone. Let's shift our focus now. Let's explore ways to improve sleep quality, a vital aspect. Nutrition plays a key role before bedtime. Therefore, as bedtime approaches, opting for light meals is crucial. Consider consuming fruits or allowing some time to pass without eating. Avoid heavy, greasy foods. Despite this, I recently read that in Taiwan, Taipei, they have the custom of midnight snacks, and the midnight snack is not simple at all. It's fried tofu. I can only imagine how hard it must be for them to sleep. So the healthiest option is to go for lighter foods. Avoid caffeinated drinks like coffee, energy drinks, teas that contain caffeine, Coca-Cola or other sodas. Guarana, for example, all of these have caffeine and should be avoided 4 to 6 hours before sleeping. Additionally, avoiding alcoholic drink between 4 to 6 hours before sleeping is also a good practice. Now, regarding exercise is essential for quality of life. However, to sleep well, try to avoid vigorous exercise. 2 hours before sleeping, obviously. This varies from person to person. It's always necessary to have self-awareness, to know how your body works. I know people who exercise and then go to sleep right after, but that's not the most common. The most common is needing that relaxation time before sleeping. So, avoiding vigorous exercise. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't exercise, regular exercise, 3 times a week at a more suitable time. Helps a lot with falling asleep at night. So it's important to keep the body exercised, but at the right time. Distressing? Distressing seems simple, but it's extremely complicated. You see, our body wasn't made to handle the stress of daily life. Our fight or flight reaction was meant to escape from a predator. Not to let stress build up due to traffic, looming work deadlines, financial concerns, or any other triggers. Once our body activates the stress response, it's not easy to switch it off quickly. So how can we unwind and distress effectively? Meditation emerges as a beneficial practice that many find helpful. It may be worth exploring for those seeking relief. Alternatively, jotting down your worries could offer another avenue for managing stress. So many times we have the alarm button on and we haven't rationalized what's making me stressed. Let me write it down here and start listing everything that's stressing me out. Then we begin to see the problems. This problem isn't really a problem because it's just a matter of waiting for it to be resolved. Or another, this problem here, this is a real problem, but there's nothing to be done, so there's no point in suffering over it. When we put it down, you rationalize, write down our problems, we start to distress. Engaging in this healthy practice can effectively lower stress levels and facilitate falling asleep. Establishing a consistent sleep routine is equally beneficial. But what exactly does a sleep routine entail? Essentially, it involves following a ritual that guides our body into a state of relaxation, preparing it for rest. This ritual essentially communicates to our body that it is time to sleep. That's why I find it very interesting that people set alarms to wake up. But maybe it's much more useful to set an alarm to go to bed. So before that bedtime, obviously you won't set it, I'll sleep at 10 o'clock, the alarm. At 10 o'clock, you close your eyes to sleep. No, that's not the idea. The idea is to set an alarm, and from that point, you start your ritual. This ritual could be a hot bath, a warm drink, without caffeine, of course. It could be lying in bed, turning off the lights, or starting to read something very calming, starting to unwind my body, removing all these stimuli we have nowadays, like light, sound, stress, the phone, turning off the alarm, putting the phone in that do not disturb mode. Phones also have that night shift or night light, which is the dimmed light. This can also start signaling to the body. So this whole ritual is important, and everyone will create their own within their possibilities and their routine. Given that our body operates on a biological clock called the circadian rhythm, it's crucial to ensure its proper functioning. Therefore, it's quite common for individuals to wake up, get dressed, go to work, without even being exposed to light. So the body doesn't get into that rhythm of starting the day. So, exposing yourself to 30 minutes of sunlight can also help to set that circadian rhythm in order right at the start of the day to alert our body that, hey, I really woke up. The sun is up. So since our body has a biological clock, which is the circadian rhythm, upon waking, if you expose yourself to sunlight for 30 minutes, you signal to the body that the day has started. And this can help at the end of the day, when it's time to sleep. So this sun exposure can set our biological clock in order, or at least help avoid stimulating activities before bed. That's very important, right? And stimulating activity can be something that requires concentration, right? You're doing very important work, you're focused, you won't be able to switch off and sleep right away. So we need to start removing these mental stimuli close to bedtime, So the television, even if it's a story, a movie, anything, whatever it is, very stimulating. It will keep your brain active and you won't be able to sleep. And obviously, try to avoid anything that is emotionally disturbing. This can include many things, from a fighting at night that won't let you sleep. Fighting is never good for anyone, but anything that brings a lot of emotion at bedtime can disrupt your sleep. A very useful tip is to remove screens from the bedroom. And screens nowadays mean everything, right? It means a computer, it means a monitor, a TV, it means a cell phone, a tablet, even watches have screens now. There are studies showing that blue light, it helps release hormones that harm sleep. So that's exactly why there's that night shift, which reduces the blue tone. But that's not the point. The point is, if you remove the screen, you're already removing something that's too stimulating, and you're removing that blue light. And there are several factors that help create this routine. Not watching movies in bed, in the bedroom, because the bed has to be something meant for sleeping. If you start using the bed for various other things, the body doesn't understand that the bed is part of the sleep routine. So using the bed to read, using the bed to watch movies, using the bed for various other things, you might be causing your body to not recognize the reason why you're lying there, which is to sleep. So, another tip is the first big investment for everyone. I think it should be a good mattress. My first big investment was a mattress, because we spend a third of our lives sleeping, so the mattress has to be comfortable, pleasant to help with that. Restorative sleep, that's very important for quality of life. But it's not just that the whole environment needs to be conducive to proper sleep. A dark room, well ventilated, all of this helps with proper sleep. And if you're in a very busy area with a lot of noise, with neighbors, sometimes the neighbors are the cause of a bad night's sleep. Using an eye mask, using earplugs, all of this can help minimize the impact of noise pollution that can disrupt your sleep. Now, something important too is, if you wake up during the night, what to do, right? So sometimes you wake up to go to the bathroom and then you know you woke up and won't be able to sleep again. Often it's some small stimulus at that moment that ends up keeping you awake. So try to do everything you need. If it's going to the bathroom, do it all with the lights off. Minimize exposure to light as much as possible so it doesn't affect your ability to fall back asleep. Another tip is, if you live with others, have an agreement not to make noise at night. So avoid, for example, flushing the toilet during the night. This can prevent waking your partner. So it's a matter of common sense and companionship. Now, the idea of all this is for you to get at least 7 hours of good sleep during the night. Obviously, some people need more, some need less, but 7 is a reasonable number, and that can bring health and quality of life to you. Did you like this video? Share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.